How's it going, folks? I'm Marcus.
And I'm Rami.
And this is the podcast. We try and figure out what this podcast is about.
And what we're doing with our lives. And on this episode, we talk about UFOs.
And the $97.5 billion surplus that we have in California this year.
And a little bit about camping with kids. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, thanks for all the mail. Please keep sending it. And by all the mail, I mean the one text from Mum. And thanks for all the listens.
I hope you enjoy. Good luck.
Cheers. That's got some vibes, doesn't it?
How's it going?
Oops. Yeah, good.
What are you eating?
Munching on carrots.
Carrots. Nice.
Little baby carrots.
Nice.
I keep forgetting that I bought a packet of them from the previous week, and then now we have 6 packets of baby carrots that are months old that I have to work
Nice. Are you're a regular carrot eater?
No, I wouldn't class myself as a regular carrot eater. I like to eat them.
You enjoy a good carrot, though.
I'm a casual carrot eater. I've gone through phases. I've gone through intense carrot phases.
How do you feel about cooked carrots?
No, negative.
Just raw.
Very negative. I have some very specific. You don't eat
them. Negative, don't eat them, or
as opposed to negative, really love them.
No, as in like we'll eat them, but they're not my favorite. Like you just won't eat a cooked carrot.
No. I'm not belligerent. I'm not a fundamentalist.
Carrot fundamentalist.
I'm not eat anything. But I no, I don't. I just cook carrots. Just don't do anything. Sometimes when they're nicely roasted and there's like sugar and it's caramelized, there's an interesting element to it. But it's. But
you're eating carrots at that stage. You're eating something covered in caramelized, whatever.
You're eating a vessel for sugar. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is this good? Good audio? Good radio?
It's great. It's great. No, I mean this is good content. I want to. This is the first 15 minutes. We just do this. What have you got lined up to eat after the show? Why don't you tell everyone what you typically do after we finished recording at 10:30 at night?
When did this become the shaming episode?
I'm not trying to shame you. It's a part of our routine. Wednesday we meet. Marcus has a few beers or a couple of glasses of wine and goes straight to bed. And Rami doesn't go straight to bed.
Into the kitchen and binge eats. The thing is, I'm standing because this is my standing desk. It's my standing office.
You're burning an extra 20 calories more than me per hour.
Per word, per minute. So I'm burning. So it's a tiring endeavor. So I get in there and it's 10:30 or 11 and I'm just peckish, aren't I? It's just we've been going for a couple of hours. You just need a little something. It starts with a casual peanut butter kind of jar, and then it's like
just a little lick.
Here's some yogurt, something, and what's some chocolate here? What did Cleo leave behind? I can just have some of that, and then you're in the hummus, and you just go through a bit of a cycle, don't you?
Yeah,
like a sweet savory cycle. You ever do that?
The loop? Yeah, I do it during the day though, not just right before bed. But I do cycle during something savory something sweet now would be good. Yeah, I do that ad nauseum till about 8 o'clock, and then I stop. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird.
Yeah, maybe you're a bit orthodox. That's fine.
Yeah, boring.
Whatever, mate. Whatever. Each their own.
Yeah.
Or something. Is that the phrase?
I'm dressed like someone in, I imagine, a SWAT team with maybe special forces. Got the black hat, the black t-shirt, black headphones. I don't know. Beard.
Yeah. If special forces were a DJ in Park Slope, what?
Out of shape DJs in their 40s. This is how
those
I picture
sort of
them.
special forces. There's like incognito special forces, the ones you can't really, you don't know. They're
super
right?
special.
Yeah.
You are really special forces. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, man.
I was going for roadie. You've got the roadie vibes. You got black on black. Short sleeve black. Yeah, it's like a roadie.
Like crew at a concert. Yeah. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Is that not what do you not call them roadies?
Yeah, no, just making sure. And I got shorts on. I feel like that's a classic roadie thing.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Yeah. So what happened here, ladies and gentlemen, is that over here in the Bay Area on this fine Wednesday, the temperature hit, above 25 degrees, a comfortable 25 degrees the rest of the year. And it hit 28 degrees, and everyone panicked.
Are you going to do Celsius? Are you really going to do Celsius?
I mean, it's high 70s, low 80s. I don't know the difference. It's all I know is 60 is bad, 70 is good, 80 is very high.
Yeah, but you're not. When you check the temperature and stuff, is your phone set to Celsius still?
No,
and you're
no. I was doing it for the Irish audience. I was doing it for our people.
I'm fully converted. I'm fully converted to Fahrenheit now, yeah.
Oh, this is a good discussion. Where else are you fully converted? So are you actually fully converted?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what? Yeah, can you actually do conversions, or are you
it was in the high 70s today, and I don't know what that was in Celsius,
Yeah,
I don't know how hot it gets here in Celsius. I know how hot it gets in Fahrenheit now. Things like that.
The thing is, it's irrelevant. 30 here in Celsius is a casual day in Oz 30 because it's a completely different 30.
Yeah, no.
Where you know what I mean? It's
it does make sense. Yeah. And there's I don't know how it works, but they say feels like, they're like it's 30 degrees, feels like 35. I'm like, okay, there's a factor you have to catch. Like Dawn does this in Dubai all the time. Like it's 40 degrees, but feels like 45, whatever.
The heat,
okay,
the wind.
I don't get it. Yeah, there's a wind factor and whatever.
It works both ways, doesn't it? Also, the sun here is the difference between shade and sun is 10, 15 degrees in whichever denomination you're after.
But there's an ozone here, I think, is the difference, right? In Oz, you guys don't have an ozone. You forgot to have
that's from
an
the
ozone.
90s. That's from when you were visiting, mate.
You have a big hole in the ozone there, don't
that's
you?
been patched. It's sorted now.
Patched? How did you patch it?
You just little needle and thread. You just... Yeah.
Did they really put stuff up there to try and help it, or was it just...
No, it fixed itself. Yeah.
Does it? It's self-healing?
Healing organism. Yeah.
Oh. Because I remember when we were in Oz, it was a big thing.
Yeah, it's a huge
thing. This is
thing.
different sun. There's no ozone here, so
skin cancer,
the magic one.
The whole thing. Yeah. No, I mean, to be clear, there are holes in the ozone layer all over the place. They come and go, but I'm pretty sure the big one that was centered right on Oz has since closed up. But hey, listen, it's probably worth fact checking before you don't put sunscreen on. Sorry, I had a tangent on, and I was looking it up for a reason. So one of our neighbors is a professor of water in Stanford. We're happy to be doing the HIT class with at the front and another neighbor's front yard this morning. Tangent. He's on the cover of Science magazine this month.
Wow, your neighbor is? Mm-hmm. Your neighbor?
Mm-hmm. For his research in sunscreen and its effect on coral life.
Oh, wow. Is it terrible? Are we killing all the coral?
Turns out.
Are we?
Turns out.
Turns out we're destroying all the coral.
Turns out the sunscreen is kind of killing the barrier reef, amongst other things.
Well,
my immediate response was, I feel like we've known that for a while.
Really?
But yeah, I feel like that's been around for quite a bit. That's almost conventional. Maybe it was a hypothesized more than absolutely no. But either way, very excited. We've got a mini celebrity in the neighborhood. He's
that's
a lovely,
exciting.
lovely guy. Lovely guy.
The guy with the solar roof now? The guy who put on the new solar panels?
Another neighbor.
Okay, I'm glad you cleared that up. I didn't want to think that you'd one total hero neighbor. You're spreading the hero out across your neighbors.
There's
a community of heroes rather than just one superstar.
Think of them as one person.
Yeah.
It did make me think, though, if the sunscreen kills coral, what other great things is it doing for you? You know, what?
I know, but I mean, it's probably the risks out, the risk reward. Yeah.
You think?
Come on. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We don't
need a reason. We don't need another reason not to wear sunscreen. Is that what you're looking for? Maybe we shouldn't wear it. You don't know.
I don't know. What if it's like a competition between one type of cancer and another type? I don't know. Like it's who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Kills coral.
You don't wear sunscreen though, do you? To be clear.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah. Just not fervently.
Yeah. Like. If you're in the sun for a long day, you'd put some sunscreen on.
Correct.
Gotcha.
It's a solid day. I'm out. It's happening.
Oh, better put out. Yeah.
That's why I look like I'm 63.
Leathery is how I think of you.
It's not a great look.
It's not. You don't look leathery.
I honestly do think, like the kids do, should I be moisturizing, putting it every single day, or is there a balance here where there's too much artificial product going into their skin, to their pores?
It's not. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be moisture. I wouldn't be. Yes, yeah, we do a lot of it, right? But sunscreen in California is just, especially with their Irish skin, they just got no chance.
You're talking about
we got to put sunscreen on the kids every day. Yeah.
One of my children does look like he has Irish skin. He also looks redhead in the latest incarnation. Yeah.
Oh, bless him. Such a happy kid.
Red-headed, blue-eyed Irish skin. Not mine. Obviously
like the
not
mailman. Weird. That happens sometimes,
Just like the
that happens, you just can't place it. Just never do 23andMe, that's all I'd say.
He should never do 23andMe.
Ban him from 23andMe.
Also, for what it's worth, none of the mailmen look like that. At least if they did, you'd really know about it. 23andMe, I checked recently, it completely updated. Have you done this?
No, you were telling me about it recently. Yeah, tell me again.
It updated.
No, tell me.
It updates. So obviously it keeps updating. So 23andMe, it's a DNA service consumer, one of the first ones that kind of came out, but popularized this thing. It's a local area business.
Was it a hot thing I feel like in 2014, 2015
Correct.
when we were doing the NBA?
Correct.
It was like
2013, 2014 was a new thing. It was hot. I remember ordering the kit when we were in Berkeley in 2014. And I'm walking down to Chaddock to Cheeseboard, the pizza place, and I'm spitting into the thing as I'm walking down. I don't know why I decided I had to multitask. And Cara was with me.
Now outside the Cheeseboard.
It was necessary right now on the way down so I could mail it. And Cara was aghast.
Yeah.
Cara was disgusted. She's like, "Why are you spitting it? This is disgraceful."
Yeah.
Joke's on her. Now we know I'm part Neanderthal.
Well, everyone is, right? Isn't it like it's just like
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But they so you put in the DNA, and once you've got your DNA sequence, obviously they have the data, fantastic. They sell it to people, researchers, and so on. So, look, monetize however you like. In the meantime, I get kind of updates as they get better quality data and more kind of clarity on what they can or can't categorize.
Yeah.
They just push those updates to you. So, propensity to have a runny nose, and will everything smell like asparagus? Really important medical things, like they push updates to you. Color of your eyes and blah, blah, blah. But right at the beginning, they give you the basic, where are you from? What parts of the world? What sort of DNA do you have? Are you from England? Do you send from Ireland? Do you from the Middle East? The chat we were having last time.
Yeah.
But they robbed me of Italian, which I'm feeling a little bit.
Why did you think you were Italian? Tell me that again.
Because they told me I was
How
Italian.
much? What percent was Italian?
2.7. They told me I was
2.7. I could have told you there wasn't 2.7% Italian in you. I could have.
What are you talking about?
Why didn't you just ask me at the time? There's no Italian in you, lad. Zero.
I'd believe you, but not. Anyway, they robbed me of Italian. Robbed me of it, mate. Still spitting into the little thing as I'm walking down.
What are you gonna? What are you? Are you gonna?
Straight up, Levantine, Middle East.
Yeah, just like 99.9.
All forms of that. Yeah, it's like 6 different combinations of that.
Nice.
Yeah, pure. That's the way to think about it.
A purebred.
No, that's a previous topic. Snip.
No, but it's good. So tell me about it. Tell me about what the pros and cons of 23andMe are. Like, why did you do it?
Actually, this is a good question. So when it was happening, it was under a bit of a cloud because the FDA had just shut them down on some of their reports at the time, 2014. This is when it was all NUVA, right? Consumer DNA testing. And they'd suddenly turned it from sequencing someone's DNA from being $10,000 to being $90, right? And so 23andMe went and commercialized this thing. And as a part of that, they were trying to do predictive kind of medical conditions. What are you prone to? And the FDA shut down a whole bunch. And I can't remember the exact details, but they shut down an entire branch of the kind of predictive,
like the hereditary, is it your likelihood of getting ailments and things?
There was there was a bunch of like chronic conditions and potential DNA. They just said you have not got regular approval to make
all
these
you've got
claims.
is a little bit of Rami spit. What makes you think you can tell everything about yourself? Yeah,
shut it down. So they actually had to pull those reports back. And I remember getting it was when I was getting mine, and they pulled them out. A few years later, that's all reinstated and it's all in there. And they just keep adding stuff. And it's really, really deep. Reliability TBD, but it's really, really deep like stuff. Some of it's super trivial, like we were saying, like allergy type things coming through DNA.
Yeah.
Some of it's legit. What typically happens, and like the bigger story here, and I think there's a Netflix, there's a great Netflix, I think, called Our Father, I want to say, which is it happens on Ancestry.com as well, which is the classic, I've now found that we have relations all over the world who I did not know about, and or our immediate parents are not exactly how. So you get these really interesting things happening through data.
Super awkward conversations at the dinner table.
Super awkward stuff comes out as a result of this, and all over the world. So the current Netflix one, Our Father, is where it's obviously it's sinister and it's a criminal case, but there's something about a fertility doctor. It turns out he's been using his sperm. And it's like hundreds of people are all connected as a result of some really dodgy stuff. So, but there's a really interesting phenomena happening as more and more people put their data in.
The main thing I learned from my one was, and I can say that they got it right, was they were able to say with 95% confidence that I would be in the lowest 5th percentile for weightlifting. Like, so people with my body muscle type are never powerlifters. And I was like, oh, they do know me just from a little bit of spit,
That's amazing.
It was really hurtful. It was like, like all the athletic traits, I score super low in it. They're like, typically people like you now, not so much in the powerlifting or the weightlifting or the sprinting. That's hurtful.
How's the week, mate? What's the latest?
Week's good. First day back today. So Monday, Tuesday, Camperoonie. Camperoonie. Stayed the whole time as well. Usually we do one night, wake up early next day, go straight home. But we did the full stint. It was great. It was magic.
Wait. Why do you normally go home?
Because, kids, it's hard and no one slept and someone's sick or something, right?
Something just spit the dummy.
Yeah, this time down 50-50. We're going to stay more than one night. Did the whole thing.
That's amazing.
No problem.
This was Sunday night through Tuesday night.
Sunday through Tuesday morning. We came back.
Where'd you go?
We did a great job. I'll tell you what we did that made it work. We went in 2 cars. I was down an hour before they got there, set up camp, got the stove out, got dinner on before they arrived. So it was all established. There was no, Dad, can I help with the tent? Or Dad, can I cook the thing? It was all like, oh, it's up. And then they left Tuesday morning, and then I took down the tents. And
it was a hotel for them. It was a hotel.
Kel helped with the rolling of sleeping bags and all that stuff, but the actual getting the tent down and the faff they were gone, got all that done, and then
see, I knew you were the roadie. Smart. You are the roadie. That's what happened.
Smart.
You went in there, you bumped in, you bumped out,
and got it back down.
Yeah,
again.
you were.
It's a lot of work, right? It took me like 5 hours to get ready to go on Sunday, and then you spend the whole day. I mean, the house is going to be trashed for a couple of days now with between getting all the stuff in the dishwasher and washing all the sleeping bags and all that stuff.
It's a decay effect. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah. It's just stuff, isn't it?
Stuff. Oh, you should have seen it. Well, you know that. I love stuff. That was the best bit.
You loaded up.
But it was
loaded up that truck. It was an excuse for you to drive the truck, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah. Put a load of miles up in the truck, about 60 or 80 maybe. It was great.
Where did you go? Just up on the hill?
Bodega. Up to Bodega Bay.
Bodega's a distance. Also beautiful.
It's about 50 miles each way. Yeah.
And lovely. Yeah. Whereabouts in Bodega? Was beautiful. It a campground? Was it just
campground? Campground. Yeah. I recommend it. It was nice. It wasn't amazing, but it was easy with kids. Bathrooms with hot water. You could pay for showers if you wanted. Like very doable. Perfect.
And with the hiking and beaches and stuff like that around it, what did you do in the days?
Yeah, we hiked down to the beach, played on the beach one of the days, and it was a bit of a walk to the beach. We only did it one day as a result, but we only did it one time. But it was nice. It was really nice. We kind of just walked around and did. It was really kind of wholesome. I told I'm into this wholesome phase of vacation.
Yeah.
So it was nice. Just hung out. Kids stressed me over and over again with the fire, like constantly trying to fall in the fire. And besides that, it was good. It was
mesmerizing. It's mesmerizing.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd have some key camping, like folklore or things that you have to do when you're camping that you.
In America, you got to do s'mores, right? Yep. S'mores is the melted marshmallows on chocolate.
That's what got me thinking. So as a minimum, you're doing s'mores. Yeah. I feel like you, in particular, /Irishness, like you're bringing your guitar along, you're doing a sing-along.
No, we're not.
Sure?
No, because we're annoying people. No, but I do love. I love being dirty. Ooh. I love the kids being dirty. Do you know what I mean? That sounds rude, but like, I do love the not showering and the kind of griminess and the kind I don't know, there's like, because in everyday life I'm a big
huge bather.
Need to have a shower in the morning before work. It's not working, things like that. But in that context, I like 3 days of not having a shower, and like the showers were optional there. I didn't have a shower. It was like
I'm with you. There's something rawness, back to basics. Yeah. And when the kids, you can just let them go and just be their thing and not fuss. Also, break out of the routine so you're not having to do the bloody routine.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was really great.
That's awesome.
And there's easy ways to do camping these days. I did an Instacart order the morning I was leaving. Yeah. They literally came and I took the bags and put them straight in the truck. Yeah. We drove there. We did all our stuff. We had ate did all the food and just came back when we ran out of food. It was just easy.
Yeah. Brilliant. Any hot tips for our listeners, for our would-be camping listeners, huge camping enthusiasts? I think this is the market we're about to tap into right now.
I think the key thing for me, this trip for me was all about making Kelly comfy. So my wife loves backpacking and hiking, but kind of not a big fan of like the car camping thing where you lug everything and you're uncomfortable and you don't sleep as well as you would at home anyway, and you're not kind of getting the advantage of being in the extreme outdoors away from everyone. You're in a little lot next to like loads of other people. So for me, it was all about making her as comfortable as possible. So her mattress, bought a new mattress before I left, got her a phenomenal mattress. We need to upgrade her sleeping bag now. That's the only thing. But try to make her sleep as sound as possible. That was my number one objective of this
Just
one.
a little.
So I think it went well. She was talking about like the next time we go, we'll do.
Oh.
So it was like,
That's a good
okay,
hint.
okay, here we
That's
go. Because the last time we went, it was like, I'm not doing
Never
this
again.
anymore.
Never.
So you just have to wait long enough for her to forget she said that and then do another one. Whereas this time I'm leaning in heavily into the. You said next time, so do you want to book something?
You've already booked.
There's July in there.
I feel like was there a hip flask where you just laced her hot chocolate with something just to kind of make it easier?
No, we did have a few beers. I don't know if you're allowed to have beers at those campgrounds, but hey, Kelly just texted me now saying my youngest is still awake. It's driving her. She's losing her mind. She's been trying to put her down since 7:30. So it's 9 o'clock now.
Oh God.
So there we go. The parenting tips on sleeping. It's all good. Just another 30 minutes to go before the home stretch.
Almost there.
Anyway, let's do a hard pivot.
Okay.
California this year. Guess how much they have? Guess how much? Let's see what it was. I just read it. California posts record budget surplus of nearly $100 billion.
We crushed
this year.
it.
$100 billion in surplus in taxes.
What was the source?
One of them was, everyone paid loads of taxes because they charge you like 90% tax rate here.
Is that how you get a surplus? First, you've got to get taxes in. Got it.
It says, thanks to booming tax collections and lower spending, the U.S. government posted a $308 billion surplus in April, the most of any month on record. So it's just in line with the U.S. government has posted a surplus, of which California is a third of it is in California. It says a chunk of the money has already been allocated to sectors like education, $49.2 billion. And they're trying to figure out what to spend the rest of their money on. They're talking about giving, because of the high gas prices, Gavin Newsom is talking about giving $400 per vehicle to residents to help pay with their gas prices. I filled the truck this weekend. I got to empty on the truck. God. It's a 36-litre gas tank, or 32-litre. It's a 32-litre gas tank. Bonnie would love to hear this.
How many gallons?
Sorry, Bonnie. 32-gallon gas tank.
There we go.
So it's like 4 pints to the, 120 litres, something insane. And my gas meter, I was like, oh, this is going to be expensive. I put the gas in, and the gas meter stopped at $125. It was like just over a half tank. They were like, we top out at 125. We don't sell more than that. You have to go to a different pump if you want more. I was like, oh, for God's sake. So it's about more than $200, about $200 or more of gas it would be to fill the truck right now. It's a lot of money, like, you know.
In fairness, it wasn't too different before the gas prices went up.
It was significantly different. Like, it was typically less than $4 a gallon, and I was paying $6.70 a gallon there. So it is significantly more expensive. And I was paying $6.70 on the. So they do different levels of octane here, like the 85, 90, 89, and 91 or something. And I always put the 91 in, but this time I was like, it's expensive. I did the middle one, and it was still crazy.
I love the octane choice. The Clayton's choice.
If they can't solve California's homelessness with $100 billion,
that was where I was going
this year. Do you think you? I want without making too much of a joke, like, it's $100 billion. It's a lot of money, isn't it? I mean, even if it's like 20, 30,000 homeless people this year, that's a lot of money to go around to fix whatever the problem is.
It's a lot of...
Even it's a mental health crisis, I get it. Can you help fix that with $100 billion?
Surely you can make a dent. $100 billion surely can make a dent in any one problem. It just can't spread across to all problems. You kind of have to pick, don't you? You have to go, right. We're going to make an amazing investment in this one thing, and that's what we're going to own this year. Focus.
So it seems half the money's going to education, 49 point something. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe that helps some of the mental health stuff later. We benefit, maybe everyone benefits from that in 15 years. And surely surely someone knows how to fix that.
I'm still not clear on what. So we got heaps more tax and we didn't spend it. What happened? What changed? Is it just?
There was one big thing. There was one thing that kind of was in the courts for a long time that was released that I can't remember what it was. But let's see. It was like one thing that was a chunk of money that's just been freed up this year that they were fighting over.
My worry is this. What it was. Economy, inflation, change in business environment, the whole thing. You go into a real deficit next year, and you've just wiped whatever it is you had here, and you're undoing all the good stuff.
But they've only got 1 year to spend it. It's not like they can bank it.
Why can't you bank the surplus?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was like they had to. They're looking for stuff to spend it on right now. They really are. I mean, you saw the list of things they're doing. They're like frontline workers get a payout. You get more money for your gas because it's expensive. Like, they're trying to help people. Yeah. Education gets a shot in the arm. Can we give a little bit to the mental health crisis? That would be nice.
That'd be lovely.
Right, like as in more. I mean, I'm sure they already spend. This is like a surplus. They already spend
a bunch on it already.
I don't know, $1 billion, I guess. I don't know.
I love that.
I mean, these numbers are nuts. I mean, is it billions or millions? Is it 100 billion?
Yeah. No, it's close to 100 billion. I felt like it was 90. Yeah, whatever it was. It's close. I mean, this is
97 point something billion dollars.
California still the sixth largest economy in the world in and of itself.
Yeah,
it's a substantial country. Secession is a real option, and $100 billion sounds reasonable for 45 million people.
Yeah.
But
you could do something meaningful with that, couldn't you?
What's the total California state budget, though?
What do you think it is? Well, I'm looking it up.
I'm going to say it's like $800.
$800. You're going to be way out on that if there's $100 billion surplus. $286 billion.
So to get a 50% surplus?
Yeah. No, they're right. Yeah, they got exactly.
There's something.
This is a huge year. They got to fix something big with this.
Yeah. That's insane.
They won't, though.
Ooh.
I mean, they'll just, I really
Your
hope.
confidence is inspiring. I guess my main question is there the financial, the guy in the accounts department who's going, show me the spreadsheet, because if you don't use it now, you'll lose it. And so everyone's panicking and putting in their expense reports.
It's the end of quarter and everyone's buying T-shirts and laptop covers. We're going to need a lot of branded California T-shirts.
Seriously, just got to spend it or lose it. And everyone's putting in their final consultants request reports, and all the POs are going
in. End of quarter is real, It's a real thing. Everyone gets an iPad, I guess.
That's not how it works in government. And they go, that money's not going anywhere. It doesn't evaporate.
Well, if that happens in industry, I mean, it must be way worse, right? It must be. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe that's different. That's maybe.
I don't know. I'm at risk of becoming sounding like I don't know. What are the anti-government people called? Like
anarchists.
No, well, not an anarchist, but is it the libertarians? Yes. I'm at risk of sounding like a libertarian, which I'm not, to be clear.
Are you sure?
I'm frustrated by incompetence. I'm hopeful that $100 billion will help fix some of the problems that we see around us. But I'm glad that we have a government to do that, even if it is frustrating.
Is there like a vertical governmental kind of imbalance question? Is it the California budget? So, who owns health? State governments own health. Who owns...
I think we're the right people to talk about this. This is good. I think having two I think we can reverse engineer hopefully
this.
Someone's taking some notes here.
I think we can reverse engineer this. How hard
I
could
like
it be?
To think of our listeners diligently.
All I'm saying is, how is it going to be? Oh, no, London Breed and the local city, they're the ones who've got to work out homelessness and SF. You can't take the money from, or does Newsom just walk in as a hero and just drop it and go, you're welcome.
On his own.
Yeah.
In stacks
that sort of chat? Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how it works. I don't know anything about it. I really hope someone does, and that they're and that they're like motivated. I'm serious though. I bet there are so many competent, smart people, motivated people working in government that can fix this. And now they have $100 billion. Go on.
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to be able to do it. It reminds me of, and I pulled it up today. You know the. Do you ever watch The West Wing? How much of a West Wing fan were you?
So I watched season 1.
Oh God.
Back in the day.
Oh really? You don't do West Wing? Am I just learning this about
Rami,
you?
you can't be judgy about what I watch. You haven't even... I mean, I could name almost any movie in the last 15 years and you wouldn't have seen it.
First of all, this is not about me. This is about you. Second of all, West Wing is not any movie of the last 15 years. This is a seminal cultural... But people were watching this on repeat. People are still... I mean, how you... I just need to take a moment.
I have watched it.
Doesn't sound like you've watched much of it.
I've watched season 1, maybe even season 1 and 2. Isn't there like 13 seasons or something insane?
Oh God, 6, 7, maybe 8. No, 6.
7 seasons.
I can't remember. Somewhere between 6 and 8.
Yeah. It's hardcore. I remember it was a big investment in college. There was people who were into it, and I was like, it was a big investment to make, you know.
It's very, very addictive, and you'd love it. And if you can look past the Americana Uberalis thing, you'd be all over it.
Yeah. Well, I think I owned the box set at one stage even. I think it was even gifted to me, that and The Sopranos for a birthday. But yeah, I got through The Sopranos at least.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't. So, but you were into politics. You were hanging around with all the Aussie politicians.
Part politics and part just great drama that was very motivating because it was like Aaron Sorkin, incredible script, fast-moving craziness. It was this incredible, like, Shlami doing some phenomenal kind of camera work. The first Steadicam series, great production. So everything was walk and talk on the story, right? Everything's walk and talk. People coming.
Go with me.
And it's just next. Yeah. What's next? What's happening? Let's go.
Yeah.
So this is incredible. So you'd watch it, and then you'd go to work or you'd go to school, whatever, or uni, and your day would just be like paced. You'd just be next. Let's go fast. Your entire script, like how you communicate it, just became punchy.
You think it dictated part of your life? You're like, I'm going to be efficient like that. Shoot.
Totally.
What you got?
Totally takes. So, you get influenced by things, especially if you're dosing up on it nonstop. Anyway, long story short, one particular sequence I got out today, there was one where someone goes, is anyone worried about fighting inflation? And you don't know and you don't care, but there's a character on there who goes, we have 24 PhDs and 7 blah, blah, blah in the Department of Finance. I'm sure someone's worked out how to fight inflation. And then they go, are you telling us there's a secret plan to fight inflation? He goes, yeah, there's a secret plan to fight inflation. And so an entire media cycle goes. But to your point about 24, many, many smart people. Yeah, there are. Still, best intentions, Systems are the problem, not the people.
Systems, yeah.
Incentives and momentum and
tax,
processes.
Bureaucracy. Yeah. Systems. I wonder how much of that, depressingly, I wonder how much of that 100 billion actually makes it to the actual place that makes the difference.
Just like donating to charity and watching the whole funnel kind of evaporate on the way
in terms of marketing, and then there was the delivery and the and then there was all of the operating costs, and then for every $1 you donate, it's actually 12 cents makes it to the point.
I would love a weekly follow up from you, just a chart, just nothing complicated, just a chart, couple of slides, couple of decks, just the progress of this $100 billion, little breakdown, what's been allocated, what's unallocated.
We've already halved it. Yeah. We've already halved it with the education thing. And then how many people live in San Francisco? How many people live in California?
43, 44?
44 people live in California. You were rubbish at guessing. 44 million people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by $400 equals... I have to turn my calculator sideways. Another 17.5 billion
done
on gas.
That's the
prices.
gas one. Do you reckon I'll get the gas? Do you reckon I'll get the gas gift card, debit card if I'm on electric?
Oh,
that
maybe.
Would be cheeky, wouldn't it?
So we're up to, what's that, 66, 67, 66.
Is that how you do it? Do you just pay people to combat the high prices of gas and inflation?
And then we're going to thank all the frontline workers. Another 3 billion. We're up to 70 already. 70 billion's done.
You just allocate.
So we got 30 billion surplus. We've already got that additional 230 billion that we already spend. So we got 30 billion now to make a difference.
You've got Elon. You've got to win Elon back. You've got to pay him some to come over. You got to pitch in. You got to pitch in with Twitter.
Did you see his stuff?
Yeah, he's not paying. He's
so annoyed.
He's not Democrats anymore.
Exxon is in the top. Did you see his tweet about Exxon being in the top 10 most sustainable companies or something?
I missed it, but I'm sure it's amazing.
He's just went on a rant today. Anyway, yeah.
What I did see today, I just had to close Twitter, which is I normally vote Democrats, but they're getting on my wick, so I'm now voting Republican. And you're like, I'm not sure you were ever voting Democrats, mate, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with that fella. What are we going to do about Elon?
Comes up, if there are two sure things in our podcast, NFTs and crypto will come up, Web3 and Elon.
Yeah.
And Elon.
Yeah. Well, we don't talk about Web3 and NFTs anymore. Those suckers who got big into that, right? Remember those guys who got swept up with that and just really excited about NFTs?
Oh, still there, mate. Still there, those people.
Yeah.
No one on this podcast.
Not us.
Okay, well, listen, I'm glad we went down that California budget discussion because I would love to follow up on this and understand where they went.
I wish we could. Can we get someone on who knows about this stuff?
You want governmental, California government, someone.
Yeah. Someone to come on and just tell us how it works even. And when we get on this person to tell us how budgets work with the government, maybe they can tell us about UFOs. Didn't they go in front of Congress today? Or was it yesterday? The first hearing in 50 years on UFOs.
confirmed.
How did that go?
Confirmed.
Did you watch any of it?
I didn't, but I got the snippets, which is the Pentagon confirmed that there were 400 reports.
400 reports. So there was 21 originally, and then when they opened this case, they've had an additional 300 and something.
But they didn't confirm sightings. They didn't confirm anything. They confirmed the reports.
And they also confirmed that they are all terrestrial.
Correct. This one was a drone. That triangle thing was that. So they kind of downplayed most of it. I would say nothing new from that in particular, but the surrounding fervor I really enjoyed. So there were, and it's the name just popped out of my mind, a prominent author back in the 70s has laid claim, and he's claimed it before, but he's popped back up as a result saying, look, NASA handed me this thing. It was vibrating. It was shiny. It was amazing. And like everyone knows it. I was there. It was clearly terrestrial. They wanted me to understand what it was. It was
terrestrial.
It was clearly not from this planet. 100%. It's real. And there's just like a number of people coming out of the woodwork going, now this is happening. This is a forum for me to just reassert the previous things. There's some exciting chats happening, kind of really redoubling down on, not conspiracy theories as much as people's belief that they've touched it, they've seen it.
UAPs, is it UAPs? UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Now they're called, not UFOs.
Is that right? Okay.
Nobody calls them UFOs anymore.
It's
losers.
It's too what's the word?
So there's a guy, Lazard. Is that his name? Bob Lazar. Yeah, Bob Lazar. So there's a guy called Bob Lazar. Have you heard about this guy?
Tell me about him.
I don't know a whole lot about him, but I'll tell you what I know. He's a guy, he's an eccentric guy into propulsion systems, like a very, very smart guy. His credentials are undoubtedly he's got great credentials. He knows propulsion systems, jets. He made his own jet car, when he was a teenager, like all this crazy stuff he's done. He claimed in the 80s that he was taken to Area 51, and he worked on worked on 9 spacecraft that they had in Area 51, and specifically he worked on the propulsion system, which was this small little hemisphere, little small thing, and it was basically an anti-gravity device. So what it did was it created a little force field in front of it. So all the propulsion systems we use on Earth are you push, right? You kind of whatever or fans, I guess, pull, but it's about pulling something through yourself, pulling the object you're in through space. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Anyway, this anti-gravity thing was about creating a negative field in front of it, and you actually end up getting you fall in that direction, or the item falls in that direction. Now he came out at that time and said, oh, this is happening, and everyone said, you're mad, and don't listen to him. But there was like 6 key things or 5 key things he said at that time. People asked him questions. He was on talk shows and things like that. And he was like, oh, I think there's, one of the ones is like, he said, there's element 115. They said, how are these things fueled? How are they powered? And he said, oh, they're powered by element 115. Now, the periodic table doesn't go up to 115. But they're powered by 115, and the spaceships have an abundance of element 115 on them. And everyone said, well, there's no such element as 115. Now, something like in the early noughties or 2005 or something like that, element 115 was actually discovered. And even though we didn't think it went that far in the periodic table at that time, but it wasn't a stable isotope. It was something that decayed way too quickly. But there are also so there's different of the elements in the periodic table. There's different, like, you can discover different elements have different stabilities, like as in you can still get element 115 that is more stable or more, so it's just we haven't found the stable one yet, I guess, so it just disappears as soon as it exists, basically, whereas they will have it in stable 115. But a couple of things like that have allegedly happened. I know Joe Rogan's had him on his show, and kind of Joe's a believer, and so kind of that puts me off it immediately. But like, but like, there's some crazy stuff that he said there was even life. I think he said there was even a life form that they had down there. He didn't have anything to do with him, but he believed there was an alien that was alive down there. How do you feel about all that stuff, Rami?
Gets me excited. I get really excited. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't think about it often, but when I do think about it, and I convince myself, and I'm happy to be convinced and willingly will believe, A, that stuff was real, and very logically, B, that there's something there. And the real question is whether we're going to be around to see it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just gets me really excited. There's something just beyond normality.
Do you think it's something that like some people know about? Like, are you a conspiracy theorist in terms of that there are spaceships from other planets that the government have?
I don't know. I don't think about it that much. Probably. I think so. Yeah. I think so. And it gets me really excited. Just the idea that that's real gives you a sense of everything you know is just one orchestration layer, and there's a whole nother dimension that's happening both out there and even here. And I that gets me really excited, just that you can disrupt your kind of baseline understanding of what's normal and what our physics is and what our science is, and just give you a whole wake up, right? I'm totally into it, and I want to be into it. Yeah,
I think given how we're carbon based, and given the abundance of carbon in the universe, and given that Earth is not uniquely placed, away from the sun, and that there's, billions of suns in the universe. I mean, it's not just, it's like probably rather than possibly. And I mean, it's like it's infinity. Like infinity is a thing we can't really fully comprehend. But like when you have infinite suns and infinite galaxies and infinite planets rotating around suns, I mean. Yeah. But the question is, have life forms traveled here? And even if they had, would they even, why? And why would it even? There's just so many
recognize
like
them? Would you recognize us? Or
why now?
Questions that intersect between us, and I think that's I have to believe it would have happened.
Yeah,
it's a bit too much. I don't know. You watch the shows. There's so much corroborating evidence. There's so many people who repeat the same thing. They're from different angles at different time periods without any connection between one another.
There's so many crazies as well, though.
There are, but some of the stuff really kind of aligns after a while. Like the specifics of how things move, where they were in the sky, completely unrelated people in different parts of the Earth at the same time. Not just observational stuff, but those sorts of specifics where, we were working with it. We were talking with NASA. We were underground. Area 51 aside, I think there's been a number of like initiatives in areas where, there's too many of them to ignore.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder how much of that stuff about Bob Lazar he said is accurate. I wish I read up about it before the show.
What do you think would happen if tomorrow the government came out and went, "All right, everyone, just calm down, but we do have some news, and it's true. Here's a photo. It's legit. It happened."
I think it'd be great. I don't think there'd be mass panic or anything. I think it'd be brilliant.
You don't think there'd be mass panic?
I don't.
Whoa, what do you think? First of all, your Twitter feed, gone. That's it for the next week. Done. It's just alien memes top to bottom.
You could forget about Will Smith slapping someone, or you'd straight on to the next
thing.
Forget
about Elon's bots. It's all about, it's all about aliens, right?
Might fix the economy. We might be back booming again.
This is my question. So what happens to all your institutions, your systems, when you go, wait a minute, what bomb did you just drop on it? Like, do we suddenly go?
I don't think people. I think most people wouldn't care. I think people would go, whoa, and then like sit down for a minute, and have a couple of wobbly days, and then I don't. Yeah, like I think it'd be okay. I think people would move on. I don't think it'd be a big deal.
Yeah, I think it's what you're imagining is. They show a picture, it's a dormant thing, they've had it for a while, they've just revealed it, they didn't know much about it, they analyze it, here it is sitting here, especially if it's not happening right now. If it's revealed that in the 80s and here's a thing, here's some footage.
Yeah, that would be an easier way to get
it. But it happens right now.
Rather than being like, here's our mate, Sam. And he's all like, okay, I'm a bit freaked out about that. A little bit worried about Sam now. Are we okay with him? He looks a bit slurpy.
Can we just do aliens on the news broadcast one more time from you? That
was a one time.
Your interpreter Marcus's interpretation of aliens on Earth on CNN. Just cut to Sam. Go.
No, but I'm picking. No, but I'm serious. Like, as in, you'd be more freaked out if there was like that we're supposed to now deal with the fact that there's an eight that like, okay, grand, that we're right. That'd be different than, oh, we found some spaceships and yeah, we had this one. Right? That'd be different.
Do you reckon they've got him mic'd up? Do you reckon they've got
like dribbling everywhere?
He's got a lapel mic and he's just It's a deal with Sam.
Sam's got something to say.
Sophisticated life forms.
That might be more stressful.
I can imagine.
I was picturing an octopus because I watched this program that an octopus is the most intelligent animal on this planet that is the most different from us in terms of our ancestors split the furthest back. Like,
wow.
Like
we're not monkeys related.
Yeah, like ages ago. I mean, do you know their brain is decentralized? They've got they're 90% of their brain is not in their head. Like, it's all through their antenna. It's all through their antennae. No, all through
Tentacles.
their tentacles. Yeah,
distributed systems.
Yeah, I mean, everything works different with them.
I feel like there's a few animals. I guess it's from that chain. I feel like there's a few of those sort of invertebrate type animals that have it distributed.
Yeah.
I like the constraint of the smartest animal not on our chain to do with it's just like finding.
But I was just thinking, like, if you're, you know, the way everyone's always like, aliens abduct me, what they look like, exactly like us, except short with bigger eyes.
Massive
You're
eyes.
Like,
bald.
Really?
Also bald.
You're like, really? That's the craziest you could go with how this thing might look.
like
when you consider the octopus is so different from us and it's not from our planet, and it's also,
mostly look like Jeff Bezos. Yeah, but what if there was a lead? What if it was like we now have a map, or the scientific map, or an actual astrological map, or there's something we can actually action. There's a whole program now to like communicate. What if we're talking with them? What if there's something that's legit?
Yeah.
Would you just, I don't know, wouldn't it disrupt a whole bunch of the baseline assumptions?
I don't think, not for me. I don't think so. I think most people wouldn't care. Like, most people would be like, that's super interesting, and like get super engrossed in it, and it would have its 7-day news cycle, and then it would just move on. Like,
I love that. I love the idea that
Yeah.
even aliens would just last in the news long enough until the next Kardashian gets married, and then we're back. Right? That's basically the story, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Fine.
Okay, here we go. I'm just going to check on some of the stuff I said about Bob Lazar.
You just ruined it. I really wanted... I feel like I'm after a disruptive news story that shakes us from the cycle, but you're telling me that even aliens wouldn't do it. What would? Is there anything that would? The Queen. The Queen has to pop it. That'll go for a while.
I mean, if aliens made contact in terms of they came and like if they did the
you want a greeting card?
Certainly they all
over.
appeared at different. If they just appeared in the sky at the same, I think we'd freak out. But like if the government comes out and says, "Yeah, actually, you know what? We found a bunch of them and one crashed here, and we've been working on it. We don't know how these things work." We'd be like, "Whoa!" And then we'd be like, "Oh, share price gone down again. Should we join startups? Within a week."
So nothing short of mass invasion, simultaneous coordinated invasion over major metropolitans, presumably, if the movies have it at all correct. Nothing short of that would basically disrupt the routine in your mind.
Not for me anyway. I mean,
you've got a kitchen to clean. If there are kids to get to sleep.
No, but I mean, I would be enthralled in it. Like, but I'd be, what do they call it? Doom scrolling for sure. For like a week, I'd be super obsessed about it, and would end up on this podcast a few times, and then, but like I wouldn't change the way I live my life, or I wouldn't like. Would you?
I don't know. I would like to think that it would disrupt something. It would dislodge a little bit of baseline assumption. I don't know.
But you should be living that way anyway. I don't know. I feel like,
if all of a sudden everything you knew to be the limits of it's not.
Would you suddenly go into like NASA or like into the space program?
Maybe I was looking for an excuse to be an astronaut.
Space Marines, what are they called?
Space Force.
Space Force. Yeah.
I showed you the photo when we ran into the Space Force station at the end of Oahu.
Yeah, you go back up to Space Force. Up in, where was that? Up by Helvetica.
Up Space Force is not in Sea Ranch, mate. Space Force is in Hawaii, on the western tip of Oahu.
Let me tell you how much of this I got right from Bob Lazar. Lazar claims he examined an alien craft that ran on an antimatter reactor powered by element 115, which at the time had not yet been synthesized. So I got some of that right. Element 115.
Top to bottom. I feel like anti-gravity reactor is a trope, not a real thing, in fairness. I feel like that's Star Trek top to bottom.
Yeah. Doesn't seem right.
One too many, happy juices and element...
Miscovium is the fuel source. Element 115 is called Miscovium now.
It sounds just Russian enough to give it a sense of sinister.
Maybe it is. Maybe. Yeah. Load of little Russian lads over in a spaceship. Oh, that's it now. Antimatter.
Pour the matter in.
There's loads of... Anyway.
Did you ever want to be an astronaut when you were growing up?
No. I didn't grow up in America where I could be told I could do anything. I wanted to be a car mechanic. And Dad told me go and do the degree anyway, be a mechanical engineer, and then if I wanted to be a car mechanic afterwards, I could be.
That was so sad, yet so heartwarming at the same time.
Yeah, I wanted to be a mechanic.
I didn't grow up. I grew up in Syria, and I still wanted to be an astronaut by the time I was 6.
Did you?
And newsflash: Syria does not have a space force. Just as an aside.
Different parenting styles, I think.
Okay, all right. But still, doesn't mean I became an astronaut. It was just a thing. You were just fascinated. Were you fascinated by it?
I was big into dinosaurs.
Everyone's into dinosaurs. I was just about to say, the problem is there's no profession. Yeah. Dinosaurs is not like ocean biology.
Paleontology, right?
Yeah. Okay, I guess there is.
I guess there is, right? Like Ross from Friends was a paleontologist, wasn't he? He's like the only person. Do you know, have you ever met a paleontologist?
Ever.
No, never. Ever. Maybe they can fix the government problems. Maybe they're the only ones who know what to do with this $1 billion.
We should get them on. We should get Ross on in particular. We should get Ross.
We should get paleontologists on. That'd be interesting. I'm sure they know cool stuff.
Do you think that job's still happening? You reckon there's economic meltdown and people are trying to work out how to deflation 8%, and there are people still out there brushing bones because that's...
Of course. Yeah.
Arts funding. Is that what it is?
Discovering stuff all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course.
Sometimes I do go, how are these budgets allocated? But you're right. It's important.
Why is that not important? Realistically, what they're probably doing more for...
Science.
Our progress than we are.
Just how many bones of dinosaurs do you need to discover? We've got a fair few now.
We don't know how many we've got. There's loads of unanswered questions, but we need to get a paleontologist on to answer to help us out here. We don't even know what questions to ask.
I mean, we don't know what questions to ask, but they know it. You don't think we've got enough dinosaur bones at this point? You think we need more bones?
Yeah. Shortage of bones.
Bone shortage. Huge bone shortage. Everyone says so. Massive bone shortage. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, listen, you know the story.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Okay. So, at this point, we're going to get a US state government economist to help us out. We're
not going to grill them, just to be clear. We want people to come on, out. But help us just understand how this works.
If you were going into middle school in the US, what would you learn about governmental affairs? Teach us that, because we're missing that entire context. Right. Number 1.
Yep.
And maybe the national anthem while you're there. 2. We need someone to give us anything to do with UFOs, extraterrestrial. Just give us the lowdown. Yeah, okay. And 3, a paleontologist. If they happen to be wearing a hat and carrying a whip, that's cool. But just ideally they...
Why do they have to have a hat and a whip?
Indiana Jones? No.
Are you thinking of... Oh, Indiana Jones. Okay.
Is that a pop culture reference that you haven't watched?
Have you not watched? No, I've watched Indiana Jones. Sure? No, I got it. I was thinking more.
Jaws?
I don't know.
How's that Jaws?